Having a life scholarship and being able to afford to go to college made me feel inspired to go.
When I got a life scholarship, it was such a relief.
I knew that I wanted to have an impact. Having a life scholarship through the SC Education Lottery was huge. It gave me the opportunity to make that impact right here at home.
The South Carolina Education Lottery. A better you, a better us, a better South Carolina. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
Hi, I'm Renee.
And I'm Debbie. And together,
we are the Roundtable Recap. Hey, welcome back. We are on Destination X, Season 1, Episode 4. And we are kicking it off right with Ty and the whole conversation regarding the no point lie. I don't know what else to call it. It's a lie for no reason and nobody's buying it.
Yeah, and she's sticking to it. She's doubling down.
Yeah, which comes to bite her in the end. But yeah, I mean, Biggie, he mentioned like if she's lying about this, then what else is she lying about?
Yeah, and I thought that was a good point because that was my concern. The way the last episode ended, it's like, why? What is the point of this lie? All it's going to do is just hurt you.
Yeah, builds mistrust for sure.
Yeah.
And then really I have where Janae and Peter, they decide to align, which we kind of already assumed that was going to happen as they are the newbies. And Rick's ears popped up right away when Peter, divulges that he's a pilot.
Yeah. I knew Rick would be interested. I mean, Rick has been on a solo game. Nobody wants to align with him. So, yeah. I know he's got his eyes set on Peter.
I mean, it's a smart move. It's a smart move for Rick.
Yeah.
I think that having the two of them by his side is only going to help his gameplay in the long run. So.
Right. Yeah. Because in this type of game, you can't go through this on your own. I mean, you could. It just makes it really difficult.
Yeah. I can't imagine playing this game solo, though. You would have to be really good at missions to where you don't end up in the map room because I think you need that back and forth feedback to bounce off the ideas and the clues with the other team members.
Yeah. Because the way that this episode ended, you could see what would happen to a solo player.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So then just jumping into the first mission, I have where Ty, Mac, and Allie, they find themselves at a table with Jeffrey, and there's just different food from different regions that are in front of them. And then on the other side, you have where all the other players are surrounding a table, and they're getting lifted into the air. They all have goggles on, so nobody really knows what.
Explain to me how they get in those seats with those goggles.
It's the mystery of the game. I mean,
this is going to be my pet peeve.
I assume that, someone takes them by the arm, sits them in the seat, and gets them all strapped in. And obviously they know that they're being airlifted because, they're going up in the air. There's obviously wind, and you can feel when you're going up. So, but they're in 3 teams of 3. And basically the 2 members of the team that are at the table have to eat blindly whatever the food is. And they have to describe this to their other team member, which is at the other table, to where the other player has to figure out which food item they're trying to describe, and they plant their little flag on it. And then to get the point, though, people eating have to eat the full thing. They can't throw it up and spit it out, right? And then obviously they have to guess right. The other player has to mark the correct one.
Yeah, and the 3 that are in the restaurant, Mac, Ty, and Allie, they have all these dishes on the table. So it's not like they only have a couple to choose from. I mean, the table's pretty full with different types of dishes.
Yeah, and what they're trying versus what is in front of them are looks a little bit different. Like it's not exactly to a T So I thought
Right.
that made it a lot harder for them to try to guess.
Yeah, because like what the people on the crane are served is how you would be served in like a restaurant, but the plates that are on the table inside the restaurant are more like what you would put on for like a photo,
Right.
like a
Yeah.
menu photo. So yeah, there is a difference.
Yeah. I laughed during this part because the people that are eating, all the sounds that are coming back, because it's like a one-way mic. So like it's not like they can say like you're not describing it more or give me more. They're
Right.
just like ew, ew, like and like
And gagging.
gagging and yeah. Oh, that would have been me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Uh,
I laughed at that because it really was like the descriptions weren't there, but all the
Yeah.
sound effects were. Yeah, so Ty was teamed up with Biggie and Rick. Allie
Mhm.
was teamed up with Janae and Shane, and then Mac was teamed up with Kim and Peter. And for the first round, Ty's team was the only one that got it correct.
Mhm.
And for the second round, all three of them, all the teams got them correct. However, Allie's team and Mac's team, they both spit it out. So, like, Janae spit it out, and then Kim didn't finish. So, they didn't get any points
Mhm.
for those. Ty's team won. So, what they got as the prize was Biggie and Rick got to have their goggles basically come on. And so they could look around and see the whole scenery of where they're at. And I
Mhm.
mean, they guessed it right away that they're in Amsterdam.
No, they were in the Netherlands. They weren't in Amsterdam yet. They were in Volendam.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So I wrote it down wrong.
Who knows? I mean, for me, the only place I know in the Netherlands is Amsterdam. I don't know any of the cities and names in the Netherlands.
Yeah. Yeah, and that I mean that was really it, but what happened afterwards I thought was interesting because then
Hmm.
Biggie and Rick, they talk and they don't know if they can trust Ty based on this
Hmm.
whole meeting Janae lie. So they
Right.
decide to not tell her
Hmm.
100% of what they saw, and they lead her to believing that it could be either Belgium or
Hmm.
Germany,
Yeah, based on the colors of the flag that they threw out. Yeah, they said that she needs to prove herself and that they could trust her. So
which
they had agreed not to tell anybody, that it
right,
was either the German or Belgium flag.
which then cut a couple scenes ahead, and here comes Peter up to going
Yay,
up to
Peter.
Ty. Yeah, and Peter's basically telling Ty like, "Oh, we should be in an alliance together and to
Hmm.
100% confide in each other." So Ty does. She tells them exactly what the team told her. And
Right.
then that's when Peter goes to Rick and asks Rick,
Well, before that, I thought what was really good with Peter is that he was pressing tight. Well, other than the flag, what else did they see? Like, did they see buildings? Like, he was trying to push her for details, and she was like, no, no, they only shared about the flag. So I think for him, that was a red flag,
"Oh, that
being
that
that,
she was holding back information."
yeah, it didn't make sense, I think, to him that he only saw a flag, being
Yeah.
that they were up on a crane. He knew they were
Right.
high.
Right.
So I think you would see more
Than just the
on the
flag.
flag.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, and I guess she couldn't really push them to tell her more because she wasn't out there, so she didn't really know the whole
Right,
situation.
right.
Oh, that's a good catch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then after that though, yeah, is when Peter then goes up to Rick and says he sees that he's alone and asks to join an alliance between Peter and Janae. So of course, Rick's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, yeah."
He jumps
Uh,
on that team. Yeah.
Yeah, coincidentally, Peter then tells Rick, or I mean, he actually really just asked Rick because he wanted to confirm the story of what Ty said to him.
Right.
And so Rick right away is like, "Yeah, we can't trust Ty." And
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, another confirmation.
I mean, did you say that Peter told Rick it was a package deal, him and Janae?
Oh, I mean, I
Or
didn't say the package deal, but yeah, he knew
okay.
that those two were an alliance, so it's now going to be the three of them.
Yeah, that actually makes a really good alliance. I mean, three people all on the same team, and
Mm-hmm.
And Rick is not going to share the fact that he's in an alliance with them. So yeah, so this makes it really interesting moving forward.
Yeah, and what I thought also was interesting was, and maybe it's just the discussion happened, but they didn't show it. But Rick goes and tells Biggie of what Peter said, but it
Right.
doesn't show like if I was Biggie, I would be thinking, well, why did Peter come and ask you?
I know.
Or like connect the two, like, well, why would he divulge that
Mhm.
information? And I don't know. I thought he just kind of was too focused on the fact, like, yep, we can't trust Ty, but not on the
Yeah.
fact of why were you trading information?
Yeah, but I think that's the difference in the different types of gameplay, because some people are good at chess and can think, 3, 4, 5 moves ahead, whereas other
Yeah.
people are more like checkers and
Like in the moment, like what's in
Right.
front of them. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And I think Biggie, I mean, through no fault of his own, he's just not thinking that far ahead. He's not putting much thought into dissecting all the different parts of why they would be talking. And
Yeah.
but
Because I would have
like Biggie.
questioned it. I know. I like Biggie
Yeah.
too, but I would have questioned it. Like, anyways, that was
Mhm.
kind of what I pointed out right away. So then, yeah, they move on to the second mission, which they end up in this sand dune.
Yeah.
And
So now
oh,
Ty and Peter know that they're in the Netherlands. Rick shares that the flag was the Netherlands.
Peter and Janae, is that what you meant?
Oh yes,
Oh,
Peter and
okay.
Janae.
Okay. I was
Yes.
like, Ty doesn't know they're in the Netherlands.
No. Yeah, Peter and Janae.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Yes.
alliance. Yes. They know that they're in the Netherlands now.
Yeah, because Rick basically came clean to Peter and said that, yes, that
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
that's what they told Ty, but that's not really what they saw. And he describes what they saw.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So at the sand dunes, though, there's different like pedestals with vases on them. There's portrait and then there's like a melted clock, just different things there. So basically what they have to do is they all stand in front of a vase and they have to smash whoever vase that they trust the least. So Allie goes right away and she smashes Janae's, which I thought was valid. Like she's like, you're brand new, so I'm smashing yours. Which then Janae, because then it goes in order. So then Janae smashes Kim, which I was kind of like, oh, I thought she would have went right after Ty, but she goes after Kim, and then Kim smashes Peter's. Peter smashes Max, and then Max smashes Ty's because obviously the whole Janae thing, and Ty smashes Rick's. And then Rick smashes Shane's, which then I thought put him in a pickle. I was like, oh, is he going to choose his girl or is he going to choose his alliance person?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting, the way that played out.
Yeah. And I thought he made a smart move because he smashed Allie's, which I thought was good because obviously, him and Biggie are a pretty strong alliance right now.
Yeah, and they made an alliance early on in the game, Shane and Biggie.
Yeah, so I agreed. I kind of agreed with everybody's thought process through the smashing. The only one that I found or questioned was why didn't Janae go after Ty's knowing that whole situation, but maybe she didn't really want to call any attention to it, so that's why she went after Kim.
Yeah, because it kind of puts her in a bind of as far as like, why aren't you knew she was lying, why aren't you saying anything?
Right.
So it would put her in a difficult position. So she made a smart move, I thought.
You're right.
Yeah.
Which
And then
actually, yeah, why isn't anybody questioning her to say, "Are
I
you
know.
hiding it?" Like,
I know. They
like
all go after Ty.
why is Ty the only one taking the heat for the whole lying?
I don't know. Yeah, because they could easily approach Janae. I mean, and then what is, she's either going to tell the truth or she's going to lie. But, that hasn't been shown that anybody has approached her.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that she did tell Peter, because seeing
Yeah.
how they're in a alliance together.
It was interesting because on this one in the challenge with the artwork, it was interesting that 3 people from the team actually paid attention to the paintings, whereas Peter and Allie, they thought it was more in the Salvador Dali style, which would have been
Yeah.
Spain. And then Mac thought, these are all in their confessionals, not out loud. And Mac thought the painting was actually in the Van Gogh style, which would be Amsterdam. So
Yeah.
it was interesting that only 3, I mean, as far as what they're showing us, only 3 people picked up on the different, on the style of art.
Yeah, all the clues, which again, they didn't go over at the end. I love that part of the show. Like, what the heck? I don't know why they're leaving it out.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's because, again, okay, so maybe it's because of the twist at the end, which we're getting to.
Right.
Okay, so Biggie is the one who won that mission, and what he won was he gets to go into what I don't even know what it's called. It's like this room that's on the bus. I know
It's the VIP room.
VIP room, yes. And like nobody's been in this room before. Biggie has to flip over the vase that's in front of him, which is clearly says made in Amsterdam. So he knows 100% that this is where they're at. However, and he's safe from the map room. Everyone else has to go into the map room. However, the twist is he has to convince one other player to put their ex in a different country.
Yeah, I thought that was hard. A different country, not even a different city, but
I
a different
know.
country.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah,
If he
and
doesn't,
then he's the one going home.
yeah.
Yeah. I actually really liked this twist. I did not see this coming.
No, I felt so bad. I felt so bad for Piggy. Given that we know a lot of people already know it's Amsterdam.
Yeah, I felt like this, out of all the challenges, was probably the hardest to convince because, like you said, a lot of players already knew that this was the location or, the area. So,
Right.
so anyways, he goes and talks to Shane about,
Mm-hmm.
what all this information he just got, and he decides to go after Ty. I was like, oh, that's a little tricky because I get why he wanted to go after Ty because obviously there's no more trust there. But at the
Right.
same time, Allie is very close in alliance to Ty. And so it's just kind of like that tight-knit group. It's like, can you put your trust in Allie to not tell Ty?
Saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they've been a group almost since the first episode, or at the end of the first episode. I mean, they formed that alliance pretty early on.
Yeah, and I mean, really, the 4 of them could have went far. But so yeah, they decide to try to lie to Ty about where they're at, and before they talk to him, though, they show where Janae and Peter are talking, and Peter tells Janae what Rick disclosed to him, so that way Janae's in the know. But little do they know that Kim was in her bed, and she overhears the whole thing. And I really,
you gotta check. You gotta check.
Kim, I don't know. She's gonna be one to watch out for. Like she's been
sneaky.
full of surprises. And the fact that she's not telling anybody that the 3 of them now are kind of in alliance.
Yeah, I thought that I had to laugh because it showed her in the bed, but all you see was basically her eyes. I mean,
yeah, it took me a second. I'm like, who is that? Who's listening to them? And then like, oh, that's Kim.
Yeah. That was unfortunate for that because I think the Rick, Peter, and Janae alliance is a good alliance, but I mean, they don't know that Kim overheard and that Kim knows, but Kim's a liability to them. So
yeah, and they don't even know it.
I know. Ooh, yeah.
Unless, the whole Rick and Kim thing become an alliance on the side. That would be the only way it could really not be a liability.
So funny. I mean, Rick might actually have two alliances.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like him in the beginning, but now it's getting interesting, and so
I
plus
never did not.
he gave that story, about the restaurant,
Oh,
pre-COVID, and
with
you
his wife.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, how they lost everything. So made you kind of feel for him, but yeah, he might be a strong contender in this with an alliance with Peter and Janae, and then possibly an alliance if he plays it right, and
Mhm.
possibly an alliance with Kim. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just funny because from the first episode, Mac was the one who came out like the strongest person. And
I
it seems
know.
like every episode, like she's just like falling lower and lower on that totem pole as far as being
Yeah.
the
So
strongest. So, well,
that tells me that her social game is not, she may be good as far as like in challenges and things, like intellectually, but it just tells me that her social game is not very strong. But
yeah.
yeah, she's also flying, by herself.
And it's going to be interesting.
Hmm.
So,
The four alliance, the Biggie, Ty, Shane, and Allie, they all get together.
yep. And what's funny about the story that Biggie tries to come up with, because he knows he has to back up whatever he tries to sell to Ty, he has to
Uh-huh.
back it up. And he makes a well, I thought was going to be the biggest mistake in his story is that he also saw some like diamonds,
Mhm.
and he was trying to say that they are in Brussels. Wait,
Yes.
Brussels? Yes,
Yep.
Brussels, Belgium. Yes. And he tries to use the whole diamond thing. And Ty, though, she's even questioning it because
Mhm.
she's like, I know the diamonds, though, aren't known in Brussels.
She thought a different city was known for being the diamond capital of the world
Hmm.
instead of Brussels. Yeah. And so I was like, I just had to Google it. I couldn't like just watch it. I'm like, what is the diamond capital of the world? Google, came back and said it was Antwerp, which is in Antwerp, Belgium.
Oh, so
Yeah.
the Belgium thing was correct, but he got the wrong city.
Right. I mean, I think he also mentioned chocolates, which I think Brussels is known for chocolate.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did say chocolate as well.
Yeah.
So Ty's questioning it, but
Hmm.
ultimately she's the one who goes home because she does trust the alliance and puts her marker in Brussels, Belgium.
But Shane has that little side conversation with
Mm.
Allie to
Hmm.
say because she knows it's Amsterdam, but
Yeah.
he's like, just go with Brussels, just go with it.
Yeah, and the only reason Ali says that she decides to break her alliance with Ty is because she knows also that Ty is
Hmm.
lying about the whole Janae thing.
Right.
So that
Yeah.
lie
See,
just
that's
bit her in the butt.
and for no reason. There was for
I know.
no reason.
She could have had
Uh,
such a strong alliance and went so far if I mean, she could have at least come clean about it to her little alliance, but nope, decided to lie, and that sealed her fate.
yeah, which was unfortunate. Yeah. But
Mm,
then Ty, when she leaves, she was explaining to the bus, that her alliance had lied to her. So
yeah.
she spilled the beans on everybody.
She did, but I don't even think it's gonna hurt any of her alliance
No.
because Biggie spoke up
Mhm.
about it and explained the situation that he basically had no choice but to misguide one person. And I think
Right.
everyone would have been on the same page as far as like she had to go
Hmm.
because of the lies. So I don't
Hmm.
even think
Yeah.
in the end, yeah, it's gonna hurt anybody's game going forward.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if everybody wasn't so against her because of that lie, it would have been different. But in the end, like you said, it's not going to hurt anybody because anybody in Biggie's place would have done the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So that's it. That's a wrap on episode 4, and
Hmm.
we'll see you guys next time on episode 5.
Yay!
Oh my god.
Having a life scholarship and being able to afford to go to college made me feel inspired to go.
When I got a life scholarship, it was such a relief.
I knew that I wanted to have an impact. Having a life scholarship through the SC Education Lottery was huge. It gave me the opportunity to make that impact right here at home.
The South Carolina Education Lottery. A better you, a better us, a better South Carolina. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Riley Herbst from 2311 Racing here, and you know what grinds my gears? Waiting for coffee. But instead of counting frappes and lattes, I fire up Chumba Casino. No apps, no fuss, just fun social casino games to pass the time. By the time my coffee's ready,
order for Riley.
I've already taken a few victory laps. Next time you're stuck waiting, make it entertaining. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.